how the person you knew ruined their life. The coconut incident. I watched how my friend Ken lost 2 houses and $500,000 in 1 year because of a coconut. A drunken buddy crawled into bed with his mother-in-law, thinking she was into him, but she wasn't. It ended badly. A girl, whom I was madly in love with in high school, got hooked on meth and started sleeping with her drug dealer, a man who had few teeth left in his mouth. My father's health. On my father's side, things didn't end well either. My father ruined his life because he didn't take care of his health. When I was 2, he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. After he divorced my mother, his life started spiraling. He refused to take medicine, and on top of that, he had bipolar disorder. Since I was 5, he's had amputations every year. Now, at 49, he's lost his legs below the knee and has only 3 toes left after his big toe was amputated. I'm 22 now, and I have to take care of myself or I'll end up like him. My first wife. My first wife destroyed her life with alcohol. She was supported by many people, but she ended up hospitalized for a week to detox, followed by a month in a rehabilitation program. 3 months later, she relapsed and started drinking again. The doctors warned her that her liver was down to 1/3 of its capacity, and if she didn't stop drinking, she would die. She passed away a year and a half later at 38 due to liver and kidney failure. She looked like she was 5 months pregnant because fluid was accumulating in her lower body. My brother's addiction. My brother got hooked on heroin. He was always a bit odd, but an incredibly talented guitarist and one of the smartest, most caring, and unique people I ever knew. He passed away 4 years ago from a heroin overdose. I miss him every day, but when I think of him, I laugh more than I cry. He brought so much joy into people's lives. The cryptocurrency disaster. A guy I knew sold his apartment that he rented out and invested the whole profit in cryptocurrency. It was December 2021. Needless to say, it was probably the worst timing in history. He kept saying he would make a fortune soon, but he lost everything. I still get a gut feeling that he might hit it big again, but he's left with nothing. The pilot who got involved in a drug smuggling case. I worked as a pilot for a regional airline in the US. It was a small company with a tough schedule and not a very good salary. One of my colleagues, a good guy with a wonderful family, made a mistake. He got involved with some people who asked him to smuggle drugs into the US. He swallowed several condoms filled with drugs but had to go to the bathroom on the way back, where the condoms burst in his stomach. He nearly died in the restroom, and after the hospital, he was sent straight to prison for a small amount of money. The lottery winner who didn't change his life. One guy I knew won around $30,000 in the lottery. During lunch, we were talking about what we'd do with that kind of money. I said I'd pay off my credit card debts and maybe upgrade my car. He, however, had over $200,000 in debt, including personal loans and credit cards, and said that winning wouldn't change his life. He took out another loan to pay off his debts, only to fall deeper into debt. He filed for bankruptcy, lost his car, his house, and his job, and ended up couch surfing and working for peanuts. My friend who lost himself in a relationship. One of my female friends decided to get into a relationship with a guy much older than her. She ended up being nothing more than an extension of his worthless personality. She lost her own identity and became a passive participant in his life. One of the main reasons older, creepy men choose such girls is that they're easier to control. The 30-year age gap in marriage. My ex-husband married a girl 30 years younger than him. When they married, she was barely old enough to legally buy alcohol. The MMA fighter who killed someone by accident. One of my friends was a bartender and an MMA fighter. He won several local fights at the amateur level, and his gym began promoting him as a fighter. One day, a guy said something stupid to him, and my friend responded. The guy tried to swing at him, missed, and hit his head on the asphalt. He died from the injury. My friend was sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter. BJJ lesson on controlling emotions. One important lesson I learned from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that the best thing you can do in such situations is to stay calm. If I can remain calm when my 100-kilogram sparring partner is choking me out, I can surely keep calm when someone tries to provoke me verbally. The unprotected sex mistake. A friend of mine didn't use protection with a girl he had just met. They spent the weekend together, and he didn't ask if she was using any birth control. He came inside her, and now I often feel sorry for the child who might be born out of this stupidity. My cousin who got pregnant right after school. My cousin got pregnant as soon as she finished school. She knew about contraceptives and the safety of using them, but still got pregnant because she thought, if it happens, it happens. This is not some cookie-cutter prediction. This is a real, living child. The friend who drowned in alcoholism. After my mother passed away, one of my friends fell into alcoholism and nearly completely abandoned his life. Eventually, alcohol took him and he died at 32. The saddest part was that we saw signs that he wanted to turn his life around, but it was too late. The conspiracy theorist who ruined his family. A guy I knew dove deep into conspiracy theories. He became obsessed with chemtrails, flat earth, and reptilians. He turned away from all his friends and decided to move his wife and children to a remote area with no amenities, no schools, and no prospects. Not only was he ruining his own life, but also the lives of his children. The destruction caused by gaming addiction. I've seen many lives destroyed by gaming addiction. People who think it's not as bad as drug addiction are mistaken. Gaming addiction can be just as devastating, stripping away a person's life in hours, leaving them with nothing. The industry's goal is to take as much money from the player as possible, while making games as addictive as possible. The girl who almost killed me. A girl I went to college with tried to kill me after a fight. I ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks and had 4 surgeries. Now, she's banned from leaving the country, can't study at any institution, and has to wear an ankle bracelet for the next 22 years. She has to pay a large sum of money to me and the state and will spend the next 12 years in prison without a chance for early release. In the comments section below, share how the person you knew ruined their life.